This is your inverted rock back breathing drill, and our goal with this breathing drill is to make sure that we can get some great expansion in our rib cage. This rock back position really facilitates the rib cage moving a little bit more, and it also offloads our pelvic floor. So it makes it a little bit easier for the pelvic floor to move because it's essentially not working against gravity. It makes the diaphragm work a little bit harder because the diaphragm is having to work against gravity a little bit more in this position. So we are going to have our knees up on an elevated surface. As you can see, I've just got some pads stacked here. You can use a bench. I don't really suggest using pillows because you just like sink down into the pillows, and we don't want to sink down into the surface that we're using. You don't want to use anything too high, especially if you're newer to this, because you are going to be in an inverted position. So get something that feels stable, that's going to let you get those hips a little bit higher up off the ground, and meet me back here. To get started, you're going to put the knees on the surface that you're using like so. This is a breathing drill, so we're always going to be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So we're going to lean forward. I want you to put your forearms into the number 11, okay? So don't let your elbows be out and then your hands clasp together. Forearms are in the number 11. Now from here, I want you to make sure that you're not shifting back, okay? So let your weight come forward. We don't need to be back here. I kind of want your hips to be on top of your knees. Now I want you to push through your shoulders. Don't push your shoulders up to your ears. I simply want you to think about pushing the middle of your back. So right in between your shoulder blades. Imagine that you need to push just that spot up to the ceiling. We're trying to get a lot of really great serratus anterior on board here. Now let your neck be neutral. We're not going to let it hang way down, and you don't need to look up. There's nothing that you need to see up here, okay? So just nice and neutral. Now from here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a long exhale. So open your mouth and soft. You should notice that your core starts to generate some tension the longer you exhale. At the end of your exhale, I want you to close your mouth, and then you're going to inhale through your nose. And now you're going to open your mouth and you're going to exhale again. This time at the end of your exhale, I want you to hold on to some of the tension that you have generated in your core. Making sure when you exhale that you're not crunching down to exhale, okay? So we don't need to bring our neck any closer to our pelvis when we exhale. We want to stay in this really nice long position right here. So we exhale, generate tension in our core. Then we're going to keep some of that tension in our core, and you're going to inhale again, keeping a bit of that tension. And what I want you to notice, if you can start to feel, is your inhale moving into that spot that I talked about in your upper back. We want to think about that inhale expanding our rib cage in the back and in the front. It should really almost feel like a stretching from the inside sensation. As we are going through the inverted rock back breathing drill, we are aiming to create more of that stretching from the inside sensation in the front and the back of our rib cage each time we inhale. Something that can be really helpful with the rock back breathing drill is to take small sips of air during the inhale. So you'll inhale for a count of 3, hold it, inhale for a count of 2, hold it, and then finally inhale for a count of 1, hold it, and then open your mouth and just let your exhale fall out. We don't need to force inhales or exhales when we're doing these breathing exercises. The main thing that I want you feeling here in this inverted rock back position is your rib cage moving. I want you to make sure that you're pushing the ground away with your shoulders, and I want you to think about that spot that's right in between your shoulder blades. That's what you're trying to get to come up towards the ceiling, and ideally you're feeling that spot in your rib cage kind of opening up a little bit more with each time that you inhale. Also remember not to crunch down on your exhale from the front to find tension in your core. We always want to find tension in our core from the bottom up. And that is your inverted rock back breathing drill.